Hello students, welcome to online audio video lessons. Myself, Mrs. Rajeshwari Mahapatra, Mathematics teacher for Standard 8. So students, today we will start with the Mathematics chapter. That is, the chapter name is Variation, chapter number 7, and the topic today we are going to do from the Variation chapter, that is direct and inverse variation. Okay, so let's begin the topic with the direct and inverse variation. When two quantity gets larger or similar, we say it changes. At times, the change in one number is the result of change in some other number. If these changes are linked through an equal factor, then these numbers are said to be in proportion. So, proportion is direct proportion or inverse proportion. So, let's see the variation types. Direct variation, y varies directly as x. As x increases, y also increases. As x decreases, y also decreases. That means if y varies directly as x, if x is increasing, y value will also increase. If x value is decreases, y value also decreases. So equation for direct variation will be y equals to kx. So, inverse variation, y varies inversely as x. That means as x inverse increases, y decreases. As x decreases, y increases. The product of x and y is always constant. That means equation of inverse variation will be xy equals to k. It will be more clear when we will solve one question, that is, it is there in your textbook page number 35. If the rate of notebooks is rupees 240 per dozen, what is the cost of 3 notebooks? Also find the cost of 9 notebooks, 24 notebooks, 50 notebooks and complete the following table. So in the solution, you can see the table over here. Notebooks is given x and cost of rupees is given in y. So here, as the number of notebook increases, their cost also increases. So, number of notebooks and cost of notebooks are in direct proportion. Are you getting? If one value is increasing, other value is also dependent. Means other value is also increasing. That means it will be in the direct proportion. So, here 12 upon 240 will be equals to 3 upon y. So, y will be equals to what here? So, 12 upon cross multiply it, and after cross multiplying, what value we are getting? 1 upon 20 equals to 3 upon y. So, 3 upon y means y will be equals to 3 multiply 20. So, y equals to 60. Similar way for the other things also you will go through it. So, if 12 notebooks are there, the cost is 240. If 3 notebooks are there, the cost is 60. If 9 notebooks, 180. That means when the notebooks are increasing, if one notebook, 20 rupees is the cost. So, when the notebooks are increasing, the cost is also increasing. That means it is in the direct proportion. Now, directly proportionality, given two variables x and y. Y is directly proportional to x. So, x and y vary directly, or x and y are in direct proportion. If there is a non-zero constant k such that the relation is often denoted using the alpha symbol. So, it is written as like this, the variation sign. It is the variation sign. And the constant ratio is called the proportionality. That is constant of proportionality. So, one example we will see to it. It is related to this direct variation. Two quantities are said to be in direct variation when if increases in one quantity leads to the corresponding increases in the other quantity. If two quantities are A and B vary directly, then the ratio of the two values of A is equal to the ratio of the corresponding of values of B. So, A is to B and A1 is to B1 and A2 is to B2. So, time and work. If a factory, one example it is shown over here. If a factory produces 100 cars in a day, okay. So, how many cars will be produced in 5 days? So, it increase in number of days will be increase of number of cars. That is direct variation. So, one day there will be we have to find what? in one day, if a factory produces 100 cars in a day, that means in one day 100 cars are produced. So 5 days we will take it as X or C. So here we have taken as C. So here C will be equals to 5 multiply 100 upon 1. That means 500 cars. We will get the answer. Now to the next one, that is inversely proportion. That is inverse proportion. When the two quantities are related to each other in such a way that if one increases, the other decreases to the same extent and vice versa, then they are said to be inversely proportional to each other. So two variables A and B are indirectly proportional if they satisfy a relationship of the form, that is K equals to AB, where K is a number. So one example you can see over here. If 15 men can reap a field in 28 days, in how many days will 10 men reap? Okay. So 1 upon 15 is to 1 upon 10 is to 28. That means the required number of days, or we can write over here 10 is to 15 is to 28 and the required number of days. That means the required number of days will be here 15 multiply 28 upon 10. That will be answer, you will get 42. So the required number of days will be here 42. See to it next example also we will see for inverse variation. Two quantities are said to be in inverse variation if increases in one quantity leads to the corresponding decreases in the other quantity. So if two quantities A and B vary inversely, then the ratio of any two values of A is equal to the inverse ratio of corresponding values of B. So here we can see to it, a factory produces 10,000 cars in 10 days. Okay. So how long will it take for two factories with same capacity to produce same number of cars? So increase in resources, decrease in time. So it will be inverse variation. So to produce 10,000 cars, you can see to it, for one factory produces, what is written? A factory produces 10,000 cars in 10 days. Means one factory 10 days and two factories number of days we have to find. So 2C will be equals to 10. That will be equals to C will be equals to 10 upon 2. That means 5 days it will be. Here if it is a factory produces 10,000 cars in 10 days, that means two factories of same capacity will produce in 5 days the same thing. So here the directly proportional we have completed and inverse proportion. So you will more clear when you will solve the examples what we have solved already. So go through the examples and see the video properly. Hope you must have understood it properly.